Okay. I think it's a little quiet, but other than that, I think we're okay. I don't know how loud the game's gonna be once we get beyond this point, but I'm already foreseeing that whatever music they're using is probably gonna get flagged on YouTube. It always seems to. Yeah, I think we're probably okay. Did I post where I was gonna be doing? I don't think so. Hmm. Okay, one sec. It's like 1,000,000,000 degrees in my room, it feels like. Oh well. Delete that. What was the other thing? Meh. I think that's everything. Okay, well, we've been online for 5 minutes, so we should probably get this show on the road. I'm assuming this game is subtitled, because it doesn't seem to have a subtitle option. Please be subtitled. Father. Oh, it's even better.
I am here. Do you hear me? I gave you the best I could.
Oh no, horribly vectored men are apparently taking over France.
Why did you disown me? I have your blood in my veins. How could you? Do I mean nothing to you?
Who is talking?
Why did you grieve for him? He was nothing. I am better than he was. People will follow in my footsteps.
Context would be nice.
Father.
Okay, I don't know who that was, who he was talking about, or, who I am yet. So, France, turn of the 18th century. Prologue. I think I need a prologue for that prologue. Oh, good. Comics, I think. Appears we're in the intro of Assassin's Creed Unity. Okay, don't vomit on the floor, man. But remind me next time that I want to stop drinking this cloudy rot gut. Yeah, that would be good. Remind me before I drink it. For disgracing Themis? Thames? Themis? Google what the fuck's that. Themis bar review. It's an ancient Greek titaness, lady of good counsel, personification of divine order, fairness, law, natural law, and custom. Her symbols are the scales of justice. It's divine law rather than human ordinance. I think this is one of those games that needs, like, not subtitles, but, like, hyperlinks. Someone coming. Oh. Are we having a court here? This was bound to happen. I told you. Oh, you said we would go. You promised. What? Abba had a lot of work. And rotgut. Yes, a lot of heavy glasses. What is going on? You promised me I can't anymore. I'm fed up with asking. Mom is angry because... Quiet. Say your favorite son wanted to prove he was more honorable than his father, so he started a fight. A 5-year-old boy, for God's sake. Our neighbors wanted you to explain that to them, but, well, you are fighting for justice at an inn. Damn you, you bloody drunk. The mother? But who is whose mother? Okay, documents and letters. Drag and drop documents to manage their layout. Click to display their contents. Events. React to events. Ignoring them may have severe consequences. Notebook. View detailed information about current events, actions, and characters. Alright. Verdict. Consider the effects and decide the defendant's fate. Options. That's helpful. Hierarchy. Review the current balance of power in Paris and your position therein. Intrigues. Intrigues are complex conflicts between you and another political player. Defeat may turn out to be disastrous for you. Probably lethal. Influence points. Main currency in the game. Use them wisely. Notifications. Alright. Global modifiers. Some of your decisions and changes in the world of the game may cause global modifiers to come into action. These factors affect relations, reputation, and influence. View them in the notebook. Alright. So there's things all over the place. Let's check on hierarchy. So I am all the way at the bottom. I am apparently Fidel. A judge of the Revolutionary Tribunal, generally considered a drunkard and a gambler. A protege of Raymond Devoy, who introduced him to the world of law and regulations. In private, he's an unremarkable character. What a great start. Okay, so... Wait, no, I just looked at that. Okay, can't click on that yet. No notifications. Alright, let's look at the news. Make your decision. Each action may require a different number of influence points and have a different chance of success. Consider them carefully. Alright, neighborhood gossip. Your addictions are no longer a secret. The fact that other children are bullying your son because of them is a minor problem. But who is spreading these rumors? It is likely to be one of their parents. They could have whispered into their children's ears whom they shouldn't play with and why. They might even have spiced the story up with a lie, but who will hear it next? Okay. So, I can intimidate parents for 3 influence points. I can talk eye to eye for 1, or I can ignore it. Before I decide on that, I want to know what the case file says. Files. Review charges and facts. This will make it easier for you to unlock questions for the defendant. Okay. To Judge Alex Fidel, which I don't think that's how it's pronounced, but whatever. We have not expected this kind of behavior from your son, although apparently we should have. Innocent child's play turned into an assault on our children. But, okay, finding links. Find the correct links to unlock questions for the defendant. Choose a line of inquiry and link it to the right category. Okay. Chances. While linking lines of inquiry and categories, you can make a limited number of mistakes. If you make too many mistakes, the whole system will become locked. Traps. Some cases may contain traps. Read through the files thoroughly to find the lines of inquiry that are irrelevant. Can I go back before I do that? Okay, I can. The younger one, Antoine, now has a chipped front tooth. Hope that you will punish your child accordingly. Should the situation repeat itself, we will react more decisively. I am sure we can deal with a gambler and a drunkard, even if he is a judge. We will not let our children be hurt. Okay. So, it looks like the situation is, we're the father of this kid, and the kid is on trial for beating up other children? Okay. Relations. Negative relations with factions means negative consequences for you. Alright. Reputation. Impacts everything in the world of the game. Factions, family relations, the audience's attitude, the fervor in the sections, and even the ability to persuade other characters. Alright. Influence points. Set amount per day. In the future, we'll increase this limit. Alright. Death penalty 0, prison 0, acquittal 0. How do I go back? Oh wait, before I do that, what are these things? Oh, these are events. And these are other people. Oh god, there's so much text. Okay, so who are we? Okay, I'm guessing this is us. This is where Aldrich Fidel. Alright. Matt Healed Fidel, wife. Never been outside the city, seen Mamani as a perfect wife, takes care of the household and the children. Looks like her husband's elderly father, doesn't show it outright, determined to protect her children at all costs. Perhaps more important to her than you. Oh, good. Our eldest son is a slender and handsome young man. Weight of current developments in France is slowly dawning on him, igniting a revolutionary zeal in his heart. That's bad. He thinks that the revolutionary judges should only be appointed from the lower classes of society because only such people can be considered untainted and be able to work towards a common interest, not only their personal gain. Yes, because poor people never work towards, their personal gain and lord it over others. Only rich people do that. His gullibility is more dangerous than Frederick's, as his actions can carry the same weight as an adult's. People who excel in manipulating the young and weak minds may take advantage of his alacrity. What does that mean? Brisk and cheerful readiness. Oh boy. He's a fledgling yet talented fiddler, which has nothing to do with anything else. Youngest son, naive and innocent, which is completely normal for a boy his age. Which is what? He idolizes you and wants to be just like you. Even if he occasionally disobeys his mother, he carries out his father's will to the letter. His favorite toy is a wooden sword that he always carries at his side. In his imagination, he fights against villains just like his father does in real life. He likes to carve small wooden figurines. Okay, I guess this is us. Once a moderately well-off merchant, today a bitter old man left with nothing but feverish visions of impossible vengeance against the Renard family, who once deprived him of his dreams. For several years, he was unable to adequately provide for his family, to give his children the same standard of living as they used to enjoy. Since you secured your new position at the court, your family was once again able to live a fairly acceptable life, and your father again began dreaming of returning to his former trade. However, he's grown too old and too tired to revive his long-lost career. Instead of enjoying the prestige and the wealth, he's bear witness to the Renard family's rise to power. And our mentor, Raymond. A man who has lived long enough to fully realize that justice isn't always the right answer. In this line of work in these troubled times, the only thing that matters is survival instinct. Times must go against the interest of other people. A man with such a mindset knows that one must keep an open ear, both in the parlors and the back alleys. The blind Themis appears to him as a bedtime fable fit at best for novice law students. Perhaps he perceives too many shades of gray morality to remain an efficient judge. Okay? It's a whole lot of things. So let's talk eye to eye with our neighborhoods, I guess. Influence points -1. What did that do? Yeah, I know that. But I don't know what it did. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so we're supposed to draw all these together, which I'm guessing is to learn from here. So the assault is probably linked to Antoine and the front tooth. Right, so extenuating circumstances, course of events, victim. Alright, so Antoine is obviously the victim. Am I supposed to... Oh, I have to click on these first. Okay, so... Child's play, course of events. Fighting children, course of events. Chipped tooth. Course of events. All questions unlocked. Oh, okay. Influence the jury's attitude. Questioning the defendant. Okay, to ask questions, you have to first unlock them in inquiry. Being in the jury's good graces allows you to find out which way they will sway after you have asked a question. Okay. How did your play turn into a fight? Our neighbors, Antoine and Jean, they were saying mean things about you. We were playing guards, and they asked me to pretend to be a drunkard whom they would, you were fighting both of them at once. I had to. Okay, what exactly were they saying? Are you too drunk to guess? I was not asking you, random man. They're revealing that you are, well, I told them that it's not true. They started calling me names, they called me a drunkard's son. That's accurate. Alright, who started the fight? I can't tell you who ended it. I think it was me. I kicked the one on the left, and then they wanted to get the one on the right, but they ended it. They knocked me to the ground and paid me back for hitting them. Did you really break his tooth? It's just a child. I don't know. I don't think so. Did you hit him in the face? I think I kicked him, but not that hard. Okay. There are more questions I need to ask? Okay, apparently I have all the questions. Alright, verdict form. Punishment. Make the most important decision. Condemn the defendant or deem them not guilty. Signature. Sign the documents to legitimize your verdict. This is unavailable. So, is he guilty or not guilty? So I can't unlock any more questions. I'm guessing he's guilty. Guilty of the offense with this they were charged. Oh, I thought it actually would want me to sign. No. Son, you're guilty. You should not start fights regardless of the reason. You're guilty. Those children are so small and they already know the truth. The father of my children is a lying drunk and a gambler. I used to worship you, but he soon grew up. Now it's Frederick's turn to learn the truth that echoes in the streets. And you're supposed to be my husband's mentor. Is this what you want to teach him? How to repeat your mistakes and lose his family? I was unaware that had such a temper. Okay, as was I. We were way outside as always. Well, there's an easy way to get rid of the family during a revolution. Alright, where are we at?
Paris. Liberté! We were enchanted by the idea of freedom. We could not resist it.
Man, pre-revolutionary Paris looks like a great place. Totally not filled with poverty.
Whole families took to the streets.
Wow, this is a really romantic view.
France was never so happy.
It's a romantic view of pre-revolutionary Paris.
We were enchanted by the idea of freedom.
Act 1. Liberté. Yeah, I'm sure this is going to go well. I'm sure this is not at all going to go horribly, horribly awry. No. Expecting sentence. Find out which verdict is expected by the factions and your close ones. Oh, so we can be political with this shit. So the common folk and his family expect a prison sentence, but the revolutionaries want him to be acquitted. The jury has not revealed its verdict yet. Now, what's the news? Neighborhood gossip. The father had a rare episode of foolishness when he decided to stand up to someone stronger, threatening him with a fist and showing his children they are safe by his side. He did not listen to your arguments. Furthermore, you have a precise description of where you can shove them. -2 reputation. So I can hire thugs. Or I can ignore it. I have 3 influence points. I'm just going to ignore this, because I don't want it to escalate further, and I want to save the points. So what's the notebook say? Okay, there's nothing new in here. Protocol. View the trial's records. Okay, so the protocol just reviews records. Case file. One of the local merchants, Guy Denneyu, went to the National Guard station near the halls. With a raised voice, he stated that the owner of the neighboring stall had purposely poured wood tar into his barrel of herrings. For the supposed crime, demanded a Proper punishment. Soldiers went to the halls and established that the herrings did indeed taste awful. Wait, that the herrings did indeed tasted awful. That's not right. Since there was no evidence of the crime, they did not take any action. A few hours later, the guards returned to the halls. This time it was the formerly accused Jean who called for them. There's a plethora of evidence on site, the clearest being himself smashing his neighbor's stall with a long wooden pole in front of witnesses. Alright, so charge is assault. I'd like to report that Citizen Corbet does not pay the city for his stall. Furthermore, he openly criticizes the new rule when talking to his clients. What? The new rule? Oh, counter-revolutionary propaganda. Alright, so the charge in this case is assault. So basically, this guy is Guy, and he said that his neighbor poured wood tar into his herrings. And then when the guards didn't do anything, he took matters into his own hands. Citizen Corbet. Okay, and Jean Corbet is the accuser, so this guy. And apparently, he criticizes the new rule by being anti-revolutionary. Alright, so the wooden pole was the instrument of the crime. Stall next to the entrance. It's the crime scene. Counter-revolutionary propaganda is counter-revolution, and the old denunciation is offender's personality, I think. Alright. Your name? Denny, you. Fresh fish since 1772. Interesting tagline. And a vandal since yesterday. I'm not proud of what I did, but enough is enough. Well, he admits it. That's easy. Really, like when 6 months ago you stole 8 francs from my revenue. Some urchin took that from your pockets while you were. Silence, you shall not speak until questioned. Jury, systematically opposing the opinion of the jury may lead to serious consequences. Okay. Influence on the jury's opinion, influence on the jury's opinion. Okay, so we can influence the jury based on our questions. Alright, come closer. What? Is it true that you took his place? Well, I can only ask one question. You really dispute the new order? Did you take his entrance at the halls? It took place from a dead merchant. I only did the same at a convenient time. Was that your first conflict in late 70s? And that tight-fisted Joe asked me to lend him 30 francs. It took me 2 years to get it back. I see you wish to add something. Please refrain from doing so. Why did you have wood tar with you that day? A few hours passed between Cindy's Denny's visit the station and your vandalism. Why did you have wood tar with you that day? Sell fruit was sliced by wood tar because it repels pests. Why'd you pour it into his barrel? Did nothing of the sort. He probably poured it in himself so he could denounce me again. Liar. Calm down. Okay, so we can't prove that he did it. What products does he sell? Fruit and vegetables. And you sell fish. Straight from Whiteport and Pete's Dalles. I see. Then why did one of you come to the halls with wood tar and the other with a wooden pole? Citizen? I don't remember. The stick must have been lying near the stall. Clearly planned his actions. Appears that your conflict has been going on for some time now. It all started when the scoundrel placed his stall where mine should be, next entrance. It wasn't your place. You took it after old Coquette. They'll reach an agreement ever since. Now I think of it, it may have started even earlier. Paid for a red mullet taken by his wife. My whole family fell ill because of that rotten carcass. You should be happy I didn't. Must I repeat myself? Be quiet or you're both being in more trouble than you are already. Alright, so the jury wants to lock him up. And found your denunciation of Citizen Corbet. Why did you write it? He did it because I started selling sprats. Lead judge, I wanted to help the city. Every stallholder pays for their place in the halls. He should play too. What do you remember hiding from the royal collector at the butcher's? Silence. I was trying to avoid royal taxes. You only started after the beginning of the revolution. As if that... Be quiet, both of you. Okay, so the jury's opinion is... They want to throw him in jail, basically. Can't unlock any questions. So it's obvious that he's guilty. So he's clearly guilty. Risk of death, risk of being moved from office, reputation bonus, reputation bonus. Jury votes in favor of incarcerating the defendant. Well, okay, this will piss off the revolutionaries a little bit, but the common folk will like me. So, prison with you. Seems that Parisians I will have started buying fish elsewhere. Sends you to prison for vandalism. They're warning the guards who won't have an easy life. I don't believe people will be happy with such a severe penalty, but that's what the jury wants. It's literally what the jury wants. Influence of the jury. Reputation -1. Oh. Move on to the next part. Okay. Who the fuck are you? May I remind you that you promised to join me. I have a feeling that tonight's moon favors gamblers, but does not favor spouses. God should grace us with wives who understand the importance of an evening game of dice. You should also note the right amount of wine guarantees a lucky roll. I should go home. Bringing a judge to the game has benefits. Other players will surely not cheat. That's not a strong argument. My name is Jacques Louis David. I am but a humble painter, not a silver-tongued judge. You are a sly politician. Politician, I understand the importance of keeping promises. You, your friend, are trying to get out of yours. Sorry, we're going to go home. Not tonight. Need to go home with our wife, otherwise our wife will be mad at us again. Also, judges gambling and whoring is probably a bad idea. For information, this David painted all those grandiose-looking paintings of Napoleon. I see. Same guy, he started here. Huh. Late evening, the judge's house. Well, this can't be good. What? Oh, good. This looks like... You know when you ever frame a conversation between two people at opposite ends of a long table? You know they can't be in, can't be happy. Do you not want to berate me like you always do? Why would she berate me? I came home. I didn't go out gambling. Glad you're home and you're aware that Frederick sometimes imagines you as a deep-sea sailor. He dreams that you visit distant countries and have wonderful adventures. In the 1780s? Well, you have you by his side on land. We all want that. But I'm not a sailor, I'm a judge. There are no waves. The storm is getting closer, dark clouds already hang over the shore. Just wait until they finish building the guillotine. Your oars will break at once. Okay, why are you talking in metaphors? Place without us. Okay, the revolution hasn't started yet, and family loves you, won't find you in the darkness, has already begun to reach for you. What are you talking about? What decisions in court can influence your relationships within the family? Okay. You have to choose an action to see its description. Family actions. While returning home, you can decide how you would spend the rest of your day. Jesus, how many simulation parts are in this? Various actions. These actions will affect the other members of the family, as well as their attitude towards you. Each character item provide you with or deprive you of certain bonuses. Youngest son. Your youngest son is special. His attitude makes the other family members like you slightly more. Take good care of him. Okay. So political debate pisses I can't tell if red is good or bad. Is red... I don't know if red is good or if red is bad. So, like, political debate goes between these two. This is between these and my wife. Together, I think, pisses off him. I guess we'll do with this. Oh, okay, so red is bad. Okay, so red is obviously bad. Alright, day 2. Okay. Today the people of Paris, I see the game too grim for my taste. Well, it is the French Revolution, so that's completely understandable that it would be a bit grim. It's very down to earth, I would say. Very, I don't know if I'd say gritty, but it's very down to earth. But thanks for coming by, man. Today the people of Paris commemorate Jacques Guillotine, or Guillaume Simieux, mayor of Étampes. He was lynched by a furious mob for performing his duties to France. The march shall symbolize the unity of our society and hope that the most violent stage of the revolution is past us. Let's make sure that no other loyal servant of France becomes a victim of such hatred ever again. King Louis the 16th. Okay. He was a good, loyal officer. His bastards lynched him for observing the law. Will you join me at the march? That sounds like a bad idea. I'm very interested in living, even though I do agree that his death was horrible. Wonder why the king is taking trouble to show up. Marching an army with the people of Paris. That is unexpected. But King Louis. Why is King Louis here? Continue, please. I'm merely observing. Do not change your habits for me. Louis Capet. Capet? I heard a thing or two about a young and ambitious judge of the tribunal. Whether he's guided by justice or by entertainment, as some would say. Okay. Oh. So the king's in attendance, and we have a man here. What's the news? Neighborhood gossip. Only the dead are free of addictions. What do you care about people's idle gossip? Oh. Common folks endorsement. Wow, everyone hates me. Everyone freaking hates me. Oh. Picha Emma. Oh. Thanks, son. Where were we? Apparently everyone hates us. Others. So there's now other people. Matthew Burrell, agent commander of the National Guard. He's seen enough to not put trust in ordinary people, even if they're able to start a revolution. And Georges Danton. That guy I actually know. An attorney himself, he knows the law as well as the tribunal's judges. This fact is considered by many to be the only thing keeping him alive in light of the numerous accusations of corruption and treason against him. Even more important, however, is the ability to deliver fiery speeches that result in the dismissal of all potential charges. His rivalry with Robespierre has become the talk of the town, and their official relations are often referred to as harsh friendship. Alright. So what's the hierarchy look like? Alright, so we've found a few more people. So we have David, an artist and politician. His paintings often refer to the revolution. When it comes to his political career, he is an efficient deputy of the convention. Those two areas of his life are blending together and feeding back on themselves. For example, when he led the closure of the Académie Française, the same institution that he objected in for many years. He's a longtime friend of Judge Fidel. Burrell, agent commander of the National Guard. We already know about that. Robespierre, owning his passionate devotion to the revolutionary cause, he is widely referred to as the Incorruptible. As leader of the radical Jacobins, observes the order of the National Convention with an iron fist, and if need be, terror. Undeniably the most powerful man in Paris in the age of the revolution. As of yet, none have dared defy him. Alright. Case file. Theft and burglary. The defendant is Oliver Mugler, a 65-year-old master locksmith who is famed among Parisian burglars as an expert on unopenable locks. Last month, he was commissioned by the owners of the Parisian Glassworks, Jean Rude, Louis Roux, and Ferdinand Celan to construct locks for ornate chests for valuables, presumably as gifts for their wives. The craftsman praised his latest creation as thief-proof. Shortly following their completion, the industrial's houses were hit by a series of burglaries committed by a recent newcomer, Hector Vienne. A thief from Orleans was caught in the act and shot by Ferdinand Celan. Okay. An expensive Turgot map of Paris with the houses of the recently robbed industrialists marked on it was found at the deceased. Surprisingly, Celan has given Mugler an identical map as advance payment. Why? This deposit was in addition to the agreed remuneration from all the employers. Oh, here's the second page. Further interesting information came from the owner of the Ginger Margot Inn. She recalled that on the night preceding the burglary, the locksmith met there with a man she didn't recognize. Based on her description, we were able to identify him as the aforementioned Hector Vienne. The man allegedly engaged in an evening of drinking, sponsored by Mugler. Okay, so the evidence is the map of Paris. He's accused of orchestrating the theft and burglary because he made the locks. So he's a master locksmith who constructs locks. There was a series of burglaries. There was a thief, the thief's name being Hector Vienne, who was apparently drinking with him. Okay. Let's unlock the questions. Oh god, there's lots of things. So the questions to reveal 8. So there's 8 questions. So the course of events, so the lock construction, Maxter Locksmith is Fender's personality? Lock construction is the course of events, followed by drunken evening. Famous thief. Series of burglaries. Evidence is the mark on the map. Evidence. And the master locksmith is the extenuating circumstances. Alright, that's all the questions. Alright, let's start asking questions. Robbing the bourgeoisie is no crime. According to the case file, you're citizen Oliver Mugler. Is that correct? Indeed it is. I have a request. I'd like to sit down. I'm an old man, you see. Basic respect for the judiciary requires that you remain standing. The names Salon, Rude, and Rue mean anything to you. Why are you so determined to harass an old man? You sound like the names of my debtors. Debtors? They are victims of activities you conducted. You mean locksmithing? Questions. Oh, so what questions I asked? Did you give him the map? I gave nothing to Achilles, Hector, or any other Greek. Call a witness. Call in the witness. Okay. Jean Rude in the flesh. You will not speak unless called upon. Naturally. What went missing during the burglary? House was the first one robbed. In my case, it was mostly valuables. At his house, he will not say himself. And I do not want to go to prison. It was a letter he had exchanged over the years with King Louis. Damn monarchist. To not lose a thing, he shot the vermin in the act. That is what he said. Happened to the items he had stolen. Remains unknown. According to Stalin, Hector had nothing with him. He suspects he had hidden the other valuables somewhere. Hid the other items before robbing the last house. Strange. Advance payment in the form of a map. Its disappearance, the murder of a burglar, and lack of payment for services. You look upset. What are you afraid of? No, let's look at this one. Makes for a rather strange story, and a suspicious one, too. I do not. What are you mumbling? If I say something, will I be free? He knows something. Please testify what you know immediately. That map was Salim's idea. He told the thief about the advance payment we gave to the locksmith, proposed that Hector steal it. And he did. Indeed, but then the bastard robbed us. They were forced by Salim not to pay the locksmith because he sent the thief after us. And that's when it all went down the drain. That's the bourgeoisie for you. You fooled them all in one fell swoop. Sounds like Citizen Salan had everything planned. However, there's no evidence to support the claim. Perhaps this Citizen Rude is plotting against his partner and wants to frame him. And Vian is dead, so he will not be able to shed any light on this. Okay, so... Why does he really give this line of drumming? That pig, that good-for-nothing lying bastard. Please restrain yourself. Testimony of witness is still not evidence. Okay, either this isn't someone's guilt nor of your innocence. Did you tell him how to open locks? I understand what you're implying, but consider this. He sold the secret of my locks, and the business would be over. Word spreads fast. Okay. You are one of the best locksmiths in Paris. I should deny for my sake, but I will not. That cannot be true, though, as a random thief from Orleans was easily able to open your locks. Well, he must have been one of the best thieves in Orleans. Let's be serious. Every lock can be picked with the right talents, even my locks. Do you recognize the map? No, I don't recall ever seeing it before. Ferdinand Slang claims that he gave you this map as advance payment for your services. He claims what? That wicked wretch of a second-rate merchant gave me a scrap of paper as payment for making 3 locks that said it's supposed to be worth more than 3,000 francs. Honest labor is being judged while frauds are made large. So this map does belong to you. It does not. So what is this map that you received from Citizen Solemn? I lost it, but it wasn't even worth a loaf of bread, so I certainly won't shed a tear. But if you have it, maybe you stole it from me. Better make a note that Avmugly demands ruination from Rude. Yeah, okay, so, 1 second. Okay, 1 second. Alright, so the map was his idea. Told the thief about the advance payment we gave to the locksmith. Okay, so... if we listen to this guy, if this guy is telling the truth, and we have no idea if he is, then one of the guys gave the map to the thief. Gave to the locksmith. Alright, so they gave the map to the thief, and then told the thief about the payment that they made to the locksmith and proposed that he stole it. Wait a minute. No, not that. It's really hard to figure, like, I need, like, a list of, like, all the information. It's very hard to, like... Okay, so Hector was the thief. But if Hector's the thief... Wait, if Hector's the thief... This story doesn't make sense to me. So they have a thief, and they pay the locksmith. So they pay the locksmith in advance, but then they give a map with the locations of their own chests to the thief? And then propose that the thief steals from... That doesn't make a lot of sense. Unless what they're talking about is... expensive map of the houses that recently robbed on it was found and deceased. Someone had given Muggler an identical map. So there's 2 maps, apparently. And the map of Paris was found on his body. So... okay, so there's 2 maps. One of them is owned... Alright, I'm missing something. How much did you charge for your services? 3,000 francs. Tidy sum. You're a master locksmith, you charge that much too. Indeed, that's how much it costs to have high-quality locks made by a master with nearly 50 years of experience. And the bastards never paid me. Victims did not pay you the agreed amount. Not a franc. I'd beat that money right out of them, but I'm too old for that. You realize that's what a court of law is for, right? Were you the one who marked the addresses of the 3 victims on the map? I didn't mark anything. How's your clients are marked on the map? I don't know who marked them. Maybe that's the person you found the map on. Well, he's dead. Maybe the court made the marks and has no memory of doing so. Do you not think there are too many coincidences in your story? You obtain the map, but lose it, and then it's found on the thief who has robbed your clients. So is it an identical map, or are there two, or is it the same map? You know, nothing of coincidences, only make locks. Alright. Did you know him before? First time I've heard the name. You've seen draining several bottles of wine together. Is that a crime? No, the question is, why are you denying it now? Was your drinking spree just deception for discussing the burglary? Nobody I had a drink with introduced themselves as Hector. I didn't plan any heist with a Hector, Victor, or Hugo. I'm a locksmith and I earn good money from it. Burglaries are for vagrants without a job. He's not wrong. They were commissioned by the victims to make chest locks. Who installed them? It was me, naturally, and all in agreement with the contract. Prepare and install the locks, and the employer was only to come and see whether the work was completed, and pay. Was carried out at your workshop. No, on site at the client's property. None of those idlers bothered to deliver the trunks to my workshop, so I had to strain my old legs. Does that mean you knew the addresses of the victims? How else would I get there? Blindfolded on the wagon. So basically, it sounds like he's telling the truth, and somebody thought to create a story to frame him. So the jury thinks he should be acquitted. The revolutionaries want him to go to prison. But the common folk want his acquittal. So I have to say he's probably not guilty. But the revolutionaries probably won't be dead if I do that. So let's hope we don't have a game over right away, because the revolutionaries will be mad at me. Not guilty. Bravo. Away with the boot. It does bear the marks of social justice. They would not pay him, so he had them robbed. There's balance here. The revolutionaries hate me. Alright, guess we're done.
King Louis XVI. There were people who truly loved him. He reminded the French they had noble ancestors. Do not be manipulated by people who are not bearing the burden of responsibility. This saddened me. Someone had advised him to say that. Someone who was well aware of the cold, inevitable wind of change. I did not pity the king, but those who will come after him, as they will not have great ancestors.
Okay. One of us. Will such solemn demonstrations change anything? Next time a desperate soul decides to stone a public officer observing the law, will they remember their presence at this march? Will a starving man feed himself on the memories of this guy, mayor? I'd rather not be nearby to witness that. So the common folks endorses me, but the revolutionaries hate me even more. Jesus Christ. I seem to be very bad at making revolutionaries happy. Son is rather good with the violin. He is both talented and enthusiastic. This is said about the law books I gave him. Destiny is to become an artist, not a lawyer. In playing, there's nothing more boring than law. See, he'd rather let his career rely on the humors of the people. There are many ways to rescue France. Believe me, our country desperately needs something to ennoble it. The power is in the hands of simple, illiterate people. Let them rescue their souls with music. Better than boring laws and clauses. See what you are doing, you are spoiling my child. I don't have my own children to spoil, so I'm focusing on yours. Speaking of which... Oh, no. What? Evening with grandfather, which will piss off all of these guys. Reading together will piss them off. Opening night at the theater will piss them off. So you revolution. I feel like being better with this guy because, quite frankly, my Order of the Revolutionaries is awful. So far, we made, like, the Revolutionaries our enemy without meaning to. Oh, look.
That is our new symbol of freedom. You can still smell the fresh wood.
Do you feel free looking at it?
Individuals like us do not need symbols, but France does. Did you hear the news of the day? People are running around like headless chickens and yelling about Louis and his entourage escaping Paris.
So, we will not be enjoying the aroma of fresh wood for long.
Monuments like that are not installed solely for the purpose of punishing thieves or lesser aristocrats.
Do you think it wants to taste royal blood?
Louis's flight was a stupid move, yet it seems it was planned. One of us will sacrifice him. That is, if they catch him.
Is that why Louis visited us at the court? To manipulate us?
Maybe deep in his heart he felt what the builders of the guillotine did. That someone has to be exposed as a traitor, even if there is none.
Okay, so... Welcome, Citizen Fidel. My name is Antoine Quentin... Oh, cool. French name. I am the public prosecutor that has been assigned to assist every tribunal trial starting from today. Should warn you that I am uncompromising, although I hope that we quickly find common ground. Happier news, the construction of the guillotine has been finished. That's happier news, we may begin using it today. Yes, we have seen it. The king is gone, treason. Anyone with information about his whereabouts should immediately disclose to the authorities. Robespierre. Okay. Death penalty. So the common folk and the revolutionaries both want this man acquitted. We learned about anybody new? We have not. Oh boy, big case file. Oh my god, so much reading. Jean Ibert, the famous street urchin who killed the governor of the Bastille, de Launay, and carried his head on a pike, is recently been detained. After the triumph of the revolution, he has reached the nadir of his life. Though many people still consider him a hero, they do not care that the Parisian archives are filled with complaints about thefts, robberies, and assaults on women. Current case is much graver. He is accused of raping a 16-year-old woman. The charges were brought by the victim's father. Baron Thomas de Pinot was writing down that Pinot was a relative and friend of Governor Delaunay. The crime allegedly took place in the tenement belonging to the victim's family. Jean was detained by people working outside while trying to escape the building. He gave a written statement saying that the incident took place on a holiday. He used the absence of the Baron and most of the servants to break into the tenement. Once he was inside, he entered a room and raped her. Oh, good. Oh, wait, no, not oh, good. That's horrible. It was meant to be sarcastic, oh, good. Anyway, the incident was witnessed by Anne Mitchell, whose governess is she who alarmed the workers about disturbing noises coming from a charge's room. A number of witnesses felt obliged to inform us Anne Mitchell is known for psychotic jealousy and her numerous romances with the people of France. Okay. And Michael's testimony. Usually in the mornings, Miss Lodi and I read. However, the chef had the day off, so I was preparing tea. Then I heard her screaming. I ran into the room and stopped when I heard a male voice. I was scared and asked for help. Results of the medical explanation. Yield the following. Deflorination, minor attrition of the genital area, bruising and hemorrhaging of the arms, spine, and face. So she was like 100% definitely raped. Like, we have medical evidence that this guy 100% raped her. Or at least somebody did. We don't know if it's him. But it doesn't say if he was caught there. That's the thing. Like, it doesn't say if he was caught at the scene of the crime. So there is a trap, apparently. So. Accusation should be the rape. Method is the break-in. Governor of the Bastille is extenuating circumstances. No. So then it's motive? Okay, so it's actually motive. Interesting. Famous defendant is his personality. Complaints are not testimony? Okay. So I haven't hit any of the traps, but I mistake 3 times. Okay, so I didn't hit any of the traps, but I almost fucked up. Alright. They're bringing in Jean. They're with you. Please introduce yourself. Conqueror of the Bastille and vanquisher of the tyrant Dean Linné. Here at all prisoners. Accused of raping somebody. Plead guilty. I don't plead anything. The bourgeoisie and their counter-revolutionary father are filthy liars. Possibly of criminal collusion in the charges. That's right. These rich swines love their machinations. Evidence speaks against you. Girlish duplicity and deepness plots prove nothing. Oh, okay. Did you know, actually, let's call her as a witness. What is your name? Anne Michael, the governess. What do you have to say about the case? Guilty and should be killed. He used our relationship to get close to the Baron's daughter and hurt her. What do you mean? You know exactly when the servants had a day off and when the Baron left for the Legislative Assembly. He learned those facts from you. Not directly. He paid me several visits at the house. Did it not occur to you they may use this knowledge against the family? I see. The Baron knew about your meetings, so she had a relationship with him, probably. Because we know that, apparently, according to the facts, that she has relationships with lots of people. More important things to worry about than personal lives is servants. Oh. Okay. The jury wants him locked up. Why did you neglect your duties and stop looking after the victim? That day, the Baron ordered me to take care of the house. Didn't have my classes, spending her time in her room. Not hear the accused entering the building. Visiting the kitchen, I wasn't alerted until I heard sounds of struggle and her screams coming from her room. Can you explain that? I was making a lot of noise while cooking. Watching the house. Yeah, it can't be in 2 places at once. Okay, so that matches what we know. Now we know she's known for psychotic jealousy. So she's probably like super jealous of him because he was having sex with her. Although, wait a second. So we know that they were at least having sex, and there's lots of bruising and hemorrhaging, which doesn't sound like it was consensual. Unless it was really rough sex. The chef had the day off, so I was in the kitchen. Okay, so we know that was the case. So we can try to sway the jury one way or another. Oh, hello. Thanks for coming by. Playing the most dour game ever, basically. Terrible reputation. The revolutionaries hate us, and we probably don't want to piss them off. Okay, so the basic case this time, for those of us coming in. This game has a lot of reading. I didn't realize how much reading was in this game. So basically, this dude right here is a famous case guy. He broke into somebody's house and apparently raped a woman. Although we don't know if he did or not, because the woman who's reporting the rape is apparently known for being, like, psychotically jealous of people, and he used her to know about the house. And all we know about the medical examination is that she was, in fact, had sex with somebody, and there's lots of bruising. We don't know if that means it's rape or rough sex, obviously. So we can sway the jury one way or the other. Now we know for a fact that both the revolutionaries and the common folk want this guy acquitted. So, we should probably try to get the guy acquitted, even though he's a scumbag. Do you find a particular pleasure in the abuse of women? Why do abuse women? There are nice things to do with them. Well, unless they like it. Suggesting the victim wanted to be raped and beaten. Ugh. I didn't force her to do anything, and I definitely didn't beat her. Medical examination proves that she was injured. Better ask D. Pontalbal who battered her. He was furious when he found out who was in bed with his sweet daughter. Are you suggesting that he assaulted his daughter because she consorted with you? Wouldn't surprise me. Do worse things than beating their own children. Okay. Did you break into the tenement belonging to him? Why would I break in? I used the back door. How did you know about that entrance? Marin's daughter told me. She also informed me that her beloved father and most of the servants wouldn't be at home. And I told her to visit her for that specific purpose. She was giving very clear signs. All aristocrats are whores. Okay. This is why we don't let common people vote. So you came to Baron Pinno's house, invitation of the victim. Young bitch promised me a nice afternoon. She explained everything in detail. Quiet, people. The judge is beginning to understand. Remain calm and he will soon let me go. Well, we have lots of other questions we need to ask you, so... did you know that he's the relative of deceased Governor Lane? No, but explains a lot. The whole case was conjured up by D. Patalba. He wants to get rid of me because I freed France from a tyrant. Should have been executed a long time ago. He would not call rape an instrument in the war against the monarchists. Monarchists should be decapitated, and their daughters should be thanking the heroes of the revolution. Uh-huh. You're talking about a young girl who was raped. Yeah, this is like 1790, so... Alright, so now if we stopped asking questions, we could legitimately get this guy off. Off the hook. Which would put us in better standing with the revolutionaries who basically want us dead. And also the common folk who really like us. And I probably don't want to die. So yeah, he's a scumbag. Jury votes in acquitting defendant. That sounded wrong? Yeah, of course it sounded wrong. It sounded wrong because it is wrong. The right thing to do would be accuse him of what he clearly did. The correct thing would be to do that. However, this is the French Revolution. And the French Revolution, if we get much lower, is going to decapitate us. So, I guess we'll acquit him. And hope we keep our head and that everybody sort of forgets about this. Sorry. I feel bad doing that, but I really don't feel like, Oh, report. The defendant confessed to the crime. No. What made the defendant famous in the eyes of the people? Storming the Bastille. The defendant explains... He said it was victim intimated in the embassy. First we were closed. Claims to have never touched the victim. I don't remember. Oh wait, we can look. I didn't want to get rid of it. I didn't force her or anything. I definitely didn't beat her. Clear was injured. Okay, so all he... never touched the victim. Name the first. Not guilty, so... His guilt was not clearly confirmed. Bravo. Okay, so... Keep our head off a pike, because, you know... Probably don't want to die. Oh, so I was incorrect about that. Oops. Yeah, you're right. It was probably the first one. Alright then, so... Yes, this is called We the Revolution. It's on Steam. I think it's on sale right now. I think it's only like $10. It's a lot of reading. Religious Tribunal, we need to prepare an official stamp. I was told to ask you because President Duvoy is indisposed. How much did you drink? I was not able to say. Okay. So we have a seal. Ought to have touched her. Yeah, you're right. Claimed to have had sex with her. You just didn't claim that, I guess what I was thinking is which was most right versus what sounded the most wrong. If that makes sense. Oh my god, there's a lot of images. How many games like this? Yeah, this is a very interesting game. It's unique. It reminds me of a certain other... There's a certain other game that, that's also about the French Revolution and doing things like this. But it's also starring animals. I could probably look it up really quickly. I don't remember the name of the game. But there seems to be a lot of French Revolution case games for some reason. Let's look it up. Alright, Steam. I don't remember what the name of the game is, but there's an... Is it this? Hold up. Nope, that's something completely different. like history and making choices. Yeah, that's kind of this. Not fighting. Yeah, this is basically that. Part of the thing is that I wish I could remember what the game is called. It's also like another visual novel style game. Um, it might not be on PC though. I thought it was. Uh, but maybe it's not. All right, let me. Usually there's a store page. Usually there's a, if you liked this, there's other things, and this reminds me of the game. Uh, Another game like this one. Yeah, certainly does remind me of another game that stars like. There's a lot of games that are similar, but I cannot remember for the life of me what the other game was. Like, uh, I really wish that I could remember. Like, I watched somebody play it. That's the only reason I know about it, is because I watched somebody else play it, and it was basically exactly like this, and I just don't remember what the name of the game was. I mean, I'll send you $12 if you want to play it, since it's that time of year anyway. I mean, I kind of want to continue playing this game, but also the reading is... we can gamble. That's always wonderful. No, we should definitely spend time with our family. Even though the people are going to hate us for this. I mean, this is the problem. I want to keep playing this game, but I've only been playing for an hour, and just reading all this shit is killing my throat. Oh god. More writing. Tragically, you're losing control of the streets. People feel betrayed by the king, and some believe him to be a spy trying to elude justice. Special means are recommended when suppressing unrest. We only need an opinion from the judges to make sure we are working legally. In other words, you need a blessing to shoot at protesters. People can't control their emotions or hurting other citizens as a result. Look at the windows, which are broken. Next time, they might do something worse than just throw rocks. You'll see unrest going in the streets of Paris. The guards no longer able to control the situation with peaceful means. I recommend to be allowed to use more immediate methods to protect the innocent civilians. I do not approve of you shooting civilians. I think that's the right choice. I don't know. That's the problem with this game. You never know what the choices you make are correct. The way the citizens of Paris start killing each other before our very eyes. Well, if they have already started killing each other, then you can sort of, get involved. Eventually maybe issue a decree, but I have no doubt it was Robespierre's idea. Wait, Robespierre wants to shoot the people? Those judge and jury and hang people in the street lamps. What? But... and stamp over your signature? Not my problem. Stop Monsieur Pochard. Accused of counter-revolutionary activities. Not so simple. Go home. Think about the family. Yes, the family, as opposed to us all getting guillotined. Oh god. Oh god. I can't just start another trial right now. The common folk want this guy, your family. Your family wants his acquittal. Okay, I absolutely cannot keep playing this game right now. My throat will murder, it's already killing me. And there's so much reading. Alright, 1 second. 1 second. I should probably stop this recording. It's already been going for an hour and 13 minutes, so we'll stop here for now and then go on to the next bit. But quickly get something to drink, I think.